Back on the Web Insurance Countdown to Kickoff on 1150 WIMA. Todd Walker here along with Doug Jenkins, Mike Miller, as we now move into our predictions segment. And Doug, I take it that, like the newspaper picks, I currently reside in last place.
I think that's still the case. I haven't added up last week's pick since I've been off this week, but I think I still have the lead.
Yeah,
it's close, but I had like a 3-game lead going into last week, and I think I did well. I was looking at the scores on the website, and I did well with my picks.
You know, all that anybody really cares about is that I picked Elida to beat Liberty back first weekend of the season. So
I tell you what, living off ancient history. Although I will say,
3 years from now, Miller will be like, "Hey, you remember that time I picked Elida to beat Liberty back?" Yes, Mike, we remember that time.
Did you hear on the tailgate party that I did Todd Stradamus?
I did hear Todd Stradamus, and I about wrecked my car when I heard you say that. I cracked up so much. That was good.
I fared very well with my Oregon beats Cal pick, and my Stanford will beat Washington pick.
Yes, you did.
So,
yes, you did.
With that momentum, we head into week 6 of high school football and our picks. Let's start with our broadcast game, Elida and OG. Doug, we know you always pick OG, so you can step aside.
That's good. I need to take a drink anyway.
Yeah, Mikey, any chance you're taking Elida, hearkening back to your week 1 prognosticating glory?
Bringing back the mojo?
Now that I've seen the Titans on homecoming night in Ottawa, no, I'm picking Ottawa-Glandorf. And I think here's the biggest thing for Elida, what I'm understanding from their people is that Reggie McAdams is just going through some growing pains, man. The guy is a sophomore. He really, up until this year, hadn't played much quarterback at all, and it's sort of a decision-making thing for him at any given moment. He's got all the physical tools to whip it around the lot, but they just haven't come together like they need to in the WBL. So, but for all kinds of other reasons, I'm choosing Ottawa-Glandorf, obviously.
And plus, Elida would help if you could run the ball better, keep the pressure off the quarterback, and make it easier to make those decisions without guys caving your head in. It always makes it easier. Let's go to game number 2 in our predictions tonight. St. Mary's at Wapakoneta. Mike, you're broadcasting that game. I'll let you abstain if you choose, or you can make a pick.
No, I'll make a pick, and I'll go out on a bit of a limb. I'm going to say Wapakoneta is going to upset St. Mary's. I don't think it's going to be a great upset, and Wapakoneta will need to be aided by a few turnovers. Their offense has improved, believe it or not, despite the fact that OG slammed them down last week. Wapakoneta has very good special teams. They've got some weapons on punt and kickoff returns that are a little bit under the radar right now. And I don't think St. Mary's is necessarily a scoring juggernaut, and plus it's a huge rivalry game. It's undeniable. Wapak's got numbers, they've got physical size. There's no reason why they can't succeed in a game like this. So I'm going to pick upset. Wapakoneta will win a close game.
There you go, Doug.
I think, Mike, you bring up a lot of points. I'm still going to take St. Mary's. But, no, and plus St. Mary's is coming off a tough loss last week, too. So I think you look to see how they react. But in the end, I just got to believe that St. Mary's is the better team and the better program.
Yeah, I think Mike's got a good point with Wapak. I hope they're improving, and I think this will be a relatively close game. I think the rivalry factor means something, and St. Mary's has got to be a little down after the Defiance game last week, but I will take the Riders. Our third pick in the WBL tonight, Van Wert at Defiance. We talked about this our last segment. I really like Defiance. I think Jerry Beauty is one of the best coaches around. And I think this is a team that is really finding its groove. That win over St. Mary's last week really going to pump them up. And at home, they're always very tough. And I think Van Wert is about to make that step program-wise. I think if they can keep the momentum going into next year, this is an improved program. But I think Defiance is too good for them right now.
Yeah, Van Wert somewhat slips off our radar from time to time, being all the way over in Van Wert County and pretty far to our west. But I just like the way Defiance runs the ball. I mean, they just run so hard, Mike, as you pointed out. They come at you in waves. Aaron Swanson is a very good quarterback, and Defiance kind of gets off our radar, too, being so far north as they are. Aaron Swanson is the real deal, and if you don't wrap him up, he will make you pay. If you don't go fundamentally sound to tackle him, you're going to be the one that gets hurt, which doesn't often happen when the ball carrier runs into the linebacker, but he will run over linebackers. And, yeah, I look for Defiance to get the win tonight. But Van Wert's that sneaky team out there. They might be that sleeper team that we thought either Elida or Bath could have been at the beginning of the season. Could be Van Wert.
Yeah, Defiance's biggest showdowns in the WBL are still ahead. Games with Shawnee and Kenton.
Right.
And tonight is not one of those. They will defeat Van Wert.
So there are our WBL pick games.
Yep.
Let's move over to the Midwest Athletic Conference. Let's start with St. John's at Marion Local. The Jays, #1 in Division 6. Marion Local coming off losses to Coldwater and St. Henry. Last week, a 10-7 loss to the Redskins. Who you got, Doug?
I'll go with St. John's. You said it earlier. They look like a juggernaut right now, and I just don't see that letting up. Well, what I want to see is St. John's and Coldwater. That's going to be the true test of who is that real juggernaut MAC team this year. But I think St. John's gets the win tonight by a couple of scores.
I agree with that also. I think offensively St. John's has too many guys that can run for big plays, and I think the season may be catching up to Marion Local. They weren't necessarily super deep when you saw them at the start against Shawnee, and I think that this may be an instance where just the brutality of the MAC schedule is taking down Marion Local this year. I got to stick with the Blue Jays.
Well, plus, like I said, the 3 big ones in a row. Coldwater, St. Henry, and now St. John's. I'm taking St. John's. By the way, St. John's Coldwater, Week 8, Stadium Park. You want to mark that down. How about St. Henry, Anna tonight in Anna? This features St. Henry, undefeated, #2 in Division 5. Anna also state ranked at 4-1, hung with Coldwater last week. I like Anna in this game. I think that their offense is a lot of athletes, and I think you look at St. Henry, and offensively they haven't put up a lot of great numbers. I like Anna to win this game in maybe a fairly convincing fashion. I'm on the Anna bandwagon, and I'll take the Rockets at home tonight.
Boy, I was strongly considering Anna until you did, and then given your record, I'm just not sure now. Well, the one thing we haven't talked about is St. Henry's defense. Well, how are they going to handle Anna's offense? And St. Henry's D, I think, is the real deal. So I will take St. Henry, but mostly because Todd took Anna. But I think that's a pick 'em. Toss a coin, and you can get the winner.
Gives me a chance to catch up.
Yeah, there you go.
Mike, who you got?
I'm tossing my hat over there with you, Todd.
I was going to say, you got to pick Anna. You picked them to beat Coldwater last week.
I did, because they are a scoring machine, and I give Coldwater props for holding them down to the degree they did. I don't think St. Henry will. Although on paper it's a fabulous matchup. It's time for another unbeaten to go down.
So there we have it in the MAC. And our final prediction game tonight, Lima Senior at Sandusky. Can the Spartans get to 3-3? They've been 2-2 each of the last 3 years, I believe it is, and went on to finish 2-8. Can they make a statement, Mike, that this program's coming along and actually win a GBC game on the road even tonight against the Blue Streaks?
I don't think they can, Todd. I think they're shattered. I think any credible opponent they've played, they've just been bombarded by that team. And you were at the Dayton-Meadowdale game, and that was just a festival of wiffle tackle in that game. That was a very low caliber, frankly, high school football game. I don't think the Spartans have shown any sense of the kind of toughness that one might have hoped to win a game. I understand Sandusky has had their problems. In many ways, their problems are somewhat what Lima Seniors has been. I don't see Spartans have no history of beating anybody on the road in the GBC, and I don't see enough reasons why that's going to end tonight.
Dougie?
So.
Sandusky isn't that strong a team, obviously. I know I'm picking more with my heart than my head on this one, but I think that Senior can go up and get a win. Will it be close? Will it be one of those games where, look, 5 million mistakes happened and they happen to be out on top at the end? It could come out that way, but I'm going to take Senior and hope that maybe some good mojo goes their way.
Yeah, let me just inject this, Todd, a little bit of a side note. And I know Lima Seniors had their problems, but they've got these other brewing issues with getting in a league. And let me be the first to say the WBL needs to do the right thing and let Lima Senior in that league.
Well, it may come to that because I predict the Toledo City League's not going to take them. But I'm picking the Spartans tonight. It's just a feeling. I don't have any empirical evidence or real analysis. I'm just taking the Spartans. By the way, both teams coming off butt whoopings last week. LaSalle down Lima Senior 48-7. Sandusky lost to Columbus St. Charles 45-0.
How much time do we have here? I want to take that Western Buckeye League issue on.
That's for another day.
All right. Stay tuned to be continued.
We are out of time in this segment. The Web Insurance Countdown to Kickoff. Coming up next, we'll talk St. Henry and Anna with their head coaches on 1150 WIMA.